Hello everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. This is the 13th of October. Just wanted to do for you a very short video in regards to what exactly that could happen within this week, and few things just to help you to focus on it, on what could be the case. Um, in regards to, the price action that we got it the last few days. We saw like pretty much the drop. It was an aggressive drop to the downside. For the time being, if I'm focusing on something, I'm focusing on the same levels that usually we do keep an eye on them when it's coming to the levels we do trade them. As for now, we got Asia fully unfold for Monday. A few things to keep an eye on it, on how the price really is gonna react at around these levels. Take into consideration that Asia was bank holiday. Also, you do have the US, it's not operating, so you do have like London session. But you can treat it in a way or another that it's just like a normal day, but in regards to just keep your size like really small when it's coming to the trades. For now, we don't really see any kind of a break above the levels or under the levels. We didn't also like, let's say, sweep any of the size. Uh, if I would prefer to see something, maybe I would prefer to see a little bit of a drop and the sweep to the downside, and then after that, maybe we continue a little bit to the upper side, maybe 117 region to move and to continue to the upper side. Uh, if in case the price started coming and sweeping this area and hold above this and maybe to consolidate a little bit, then you might get few pips to the upper side to look into it. But this is again the level to watch. These are the levels to watch for what exactly we do have here. And upon that, you can align the plan accordingly. Something I wanted to cover it for you, so you will pay attention to it in regards to where exactly we close the weekly time frame. We close the weekly time frame as, I would say, a fair closing. You do have like definitely a big wick to the downside. Maybe you can just like on BTC, I would say ETH and SOL, just don't look into it that much. I'll tell you when exactly to look into it and what's the scenarios that I'll be looking, for a little bit to the downside to come to it. As for now, the price is holding above this pivot level, which is it's the 115, and still like you do have like the Asia range that it's formed here. Optimal scenario is maybe to see a little bit of a move to the downside, and then maybe a little bit of a move and the recovery to the upper side to happen within today. To be honest with you, I'm not a fan of shorting on Monday. I do prefer, like usually, to get into any kind of a short later on into the week. But on Monday, I'm not a fan. Like we didn't really move, like, let's say, that much into Monday. Asia was quiet day, and it's a small range. So we will see like what exactly the price is going to do within the rest of the week. But pretty much, if I'm looking for something, I need to see some kind of a structure to take a little bit of a bias to the upper side or a bias to the downside, if in case we started getting into some kind of a price action later on within the week. But for today, if I would prefer to see something, I would prefer to see a little bit a move to the upper side, and then we see how exactly things it's gonna go. In regards to honestly, I'm not gonna touch them for now. I need to wait for like, let's say, a full week in order to get the ranges for next week and see where exactly we are standing there. Uh, I'm not gonna comment on the week that we left it there. Some of the alts they recovered. I would say most of the drop that you get, but still for me it's a broken chart all across. So I do prefer just to stick to the cleanest play and just to focus on what exactly we can trade clearly. Um, some other things that I was spotting it, not stopping it. Some other things that I was spotting it. I need to cover for me just like a little bit ETH because of where exactly we closed. Just allow me a second on this one quickly. I want really to keep this just like a short video. The closing for the weekly on ETH, it was really nice. As a local like as an intraday or an intra-week, like let's say trade, we do have some kind of a local liquidity that it's coming here. So slightly prefer to see a little bit of a move to the downside, you know, and then after that, maybe a reclaim, and then to break above Asia high and maybe to give us like a few pips to the upper side. That's definitely the preferable scenario. But if I started seeing like, let's say, closing to the upper side and BTC is giving us a trigger, then it's fine. What you don't want really to see is just like to see the price dropping aggressively from here and these levels to start capping the price, because it's going to be a problem for you of where exactly you are holding on BTC. You are holding now inside this body of the candle. But if you started losing this area and you started trading to the downside, then yeah, you might start coming to this. My opinion for the coming few days, it's gonna be like some kind of a moves up and down. And I do prefer just to focus on an intraday. Could be an intra-week trade, but nothing like, a swing trade. I think it's not really something that you might consider. This can just like literally fail from here and start trading to lower levels to fill some of the inefficiencies to the downside. And at the same time, there is a bullish scenario that you might get into it, that like some kind of a drop to the downside. Then after that, you start trading to the upper side to fill some of the inefficiencies that you do have it here, because you do have a decent amount of an inefficiency to the downside. The same thing that you do have a decent amount of an inefficiency to the upper side. But I will wait for BTC definitely to get a trigger for us. And upon that, I will align like my play on ETH and also my play on Sol. Because Sol also, it's in an interesting level on where exactly we close. We managed again to close above the 190. It's a major level for me in regards to a quarterly plays. So for me, at these levels, if it's gonna hold, then we would be expecting maybe at some later stage, like maybe for today, you push a little bit to the upper side. Maybe we get into tomorrow that we might get some kind of a retrace, and maybe still like we play a little bit to the upper side within the first 2 or 3 days of the week. Later on in the middle of the week, we see how exactly things it's gonna move from there. So I wanted just to update you on this one. I'm gonna keep this like really a short play, the short video for you. One of the things that I'm spotting it for some kind of a pips to the upper side, it is a US oil. For me, it's the same rules. We don't really apply like, let's say, different rules. It is definitely an interesting area to start seeing oil breaking above it as a range. You're gonna apply the same thing. It's not nothing is gonna change between like how you are looking at things. So I do prefer to play like some kind of a few pips to the upper side on US oil. And later on, maybe within like, let's say, tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, if we get some kind of a pullbacks like this, maybe we can just like repeat one more trade to the upper side. It is in a very critical area. So losing this area to the downside, it's going to open the path for oil to come definitely few pips to the downside. But as I said, for me on Monday, I don't usually like really rush trading, like let's say shorts on Monday. So for me, Monday is just like few pips to the upper side, nothing else. Then we do reevaluate everything, depends on the move that we are getting it within today. I'll be also dropping for you a very quick video within tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, depends on how exactly we are unfolding the full day. Wish you all the best. Have a great week. Just use light size. I think still you do have a lot of days to position yourself for whatever it's going to come. Maybe like I would say like 2 to 3 weeks, maybe the best thing is just to stay on these kind of small trades for an intraday or an intra week. Wish you all the best, guys, and have an amazing day. Cheers.